Alright, everybody, taking a little quick break off the clock. I'm going to work a little later than my parents and take a car home. Excuse me. Ow. Had a little dry spot in my throat. Alright, again, as I mentioned in a previous video, he's likely going to do something like this. I mean, it really is just the, quite honestly, the sensible thing to do. You know, and I would be so bold to even do something like this, because now there's no way. I do believe, oh wait a second, hang on, nope, didn't think so. I can't do what's known as squaring the pawn. Squaring the pawn, so for example, so that pawn in this position where it is it's on, well, it's actually on the 5th rank, but there's, you know, including the rank it's on, there's 4 ranks that it has to travel, you know, the one it's on and then 3 past that. So you take those 4 squares and then you go 4 squares over to the left to make it, and that makes your square. In this case, the left of the pawn. So you have that square, and if you see, my king is right on the border of that square. However, it is white's move. If it were black's move, had I not, you know, had I already done this, and it was, you know, in this position, I'm like over-explaining this. In this position, if it was black's move, black would step into that square. And if you can step into the square, you can do what's known as squaring the pawn. In other words, you can catch up to it, and, you know, by the time it promotes, and then capture it. Usually, if you step right into the square, you'll capture the pawn after it promotes, but you'll be able to do so. And if you're already inside the square, and you're, you know, the first move is moving closer to the pawn, you'll be able to catch up to the pawn before it promotes. You know, I'm going to play this queenside pawn structure close to the vest, as it were, because I plan on getting my king over to that side of the board. It's going to spend some tempo, but that's okay. It's going to be worth it. Excuse me. I gotta get a drink of water. Whoops. Did that post? Yeah, okay, that posted. Alright, how exciting. So let's see if I can do it from memory. So this is that game that Bobby Fischer played against Reuben Fine, known as a fine line. And in this position, Reuben Fine resigns. Now, why would Reuben Fine resign, you ask? Oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention in the video last time. If the queen comes here, or comes here, she will be captured. Now, if the queen comes off that dark square diagonal, there's checkmate. Now you say, okay, well, if the bishop's the problem, let's get rid of the bishop. Well, if you do that, I get the queen and there's check. Not to mention, the only way to interpose is this pawn here. There's another check. Why isn't that checkmate? What am I missing? Oh, there we go. And then there's checkmate. Oh, this is the game where I blundered my queen away. That was quite unfortunate, wasn't it? I believe that's probably going to be the best move. And then, you know, I could do something like this even. No, that wouldn't be a good idea, would it? Well, it wouldn't be terrible. But, no, that would be a bad idea. Okay. So what was the idea I had? Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna play that. But that's probably a better idea, honestly. Because then I still have this situation. I take out both the rooks and I retain my king there. I better get my bishop out of there, honestly. Let's try this first. And then if he pressures my bishop, I'll run it out to here. He continues to try to deflect it. That actually works out for me. That would be the best move for him, I would think, or maybe even defending with the king or the rook, but I'd prefer to keep that rook activated a little bit better. this situation is actually beneficial for black. All right. I've had a headache for most of the day. It won't go away. I won't be able to stop anything from promoting there. Gosh, he's got such a better position and material advantage. Alright, I'm going to do something drastic. That was actually probably a bad move, a pretty bad move. I mean, there is opposant. The only advantage, kind of, is those pawns are stacked on that file. But that's just giving up a pawn. Now, I did that because the king can't get to my pawn on the H file, but after the opposant, the king can. So, you know, we have opposant, and then it just gets really nasty. You know, he may take there. I would then grab that pawn. It's just bad news for me. Oh, I gotta go back to work. Alright, later.